Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the KalamariCast. My name is Nick, and I'm here with my fellow KalamariCast mate, Hubert.
Why, hello there.
And today we're doing our first game review, and this game is Crysis 2. Now, before we dive into Crysis 2, I thought we would go over the way we're going to review games. Most people use a scale of numbers, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, but we're going to do something called the What to Do scale.
The what to do scale is basically what you game. It's far more useful to you gamers because it tells you what you should actually do in terms of buying the game. Whether the game should not be played, period, such as Rogue Warrior, the game was terrible. If you should rent the game just to try out, maybe some goofy mechanics, maybe a little bit of fun gameplay. Whether you should buy the game if it's a great game, but, even though it's a great game, it won't stay in your collection as long as, some other games. And then Legendary, buy it, keep it on the same level as Mass Effect 2, Halo, and Call of Duty 4.
Number 2 was rent the game, right?
Yes. Number 2 is rent.
So as you can see so far by this cutscene, Crysis 2 is one of the most absolutely visually stunning games on the console. Our capture equipment does not do this game justice.
We also play in HDMI, so that has a major effect on what the gameplay looks like, because if you're playing on standard definition, you will not get the full experience of the graphics.
The graphics are so good, in fact, that it'll tax your console a little bit. You will notice some frame rate issues and a little bit of what looks like unpolished game, the game being unpolished. But actually what it is just the game is so insane that it's making your Xbox have the hardest time.
In fact, you should, if you have a PC capable of handling the graphics, graphics cards and all, you should probably buy it for PC. Otherwise, the gameplay's just as good on the 360.
Should have mentioned earlier, we are reviewing the 360 version and not the PC version.
Yes.
Yes. That is what we're doing. What else do we have planned to talk about during this suddenly very long cutscene?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember it being this long.
Yeah, this is the longest cutscene in the game, and this is just sort of like a teaser trailer.
It happens in the second level. The first level is super short.
I guess we can talk about the prevalence of phallic symbols in video games.
So, into the campaign. The campaign for Crysis 2 is fantastic. It's a lot of fun to play. We've played it a bunch of times on all the difficulties. It gets quite hard at the higher difficulties, and you no longer feel quite as super soldier-ish, but it's fantastic. There are some annoying points. Some of the NPCs are quite annoying.
Nathan Gould.
The guy who's talking right now.
Being the most annoying of all of them.
As you can see, the environment around you is very interactable. They're supposed to have destructible environments, and you find quite a few, but don't get hung up trying to destroy things when you most likely can't. I was kind of disappointed by that. I was kind of disappointed that you couldn't destroy everything.
Yeah, the first game made a point of being able, at least with the engine, of being able to destroy everything, and then this sort of toned it down. You thought you could destroy everything with a heavy machine gun. You might have damaged it a bit, but mostly just a little sort of cosmetic damage. Nothing actual structural.
The damage you do looks fantastic, but it doesn't always help you
it's just
in terms
cosmetic.
of tactical.
It's not it's just cosmetic. It's not functional.
Almost all the guns in the game are customizable. Throughout the game, you'll pick up things like silencers or undergun shotguns or grenade launchers and a variety of scopes. If you haven't picked up that particular attachment, it won't be available for any of your guns. But as soon as you pick up it for one, you pick it up for all.
There's also a lot of armor customization. There's power, speed, cloak, and you get 3 options for all, and then sort of like a base option for ledge grabbing and whatnot. And
you can only have one of those per section, so you can only activate one of those perks per section.
That was actually the air stomp, which is a lot of fun.
So this game is all about using your cloak and your maximum armor in conjunction with each other. The more difficult the game gets, the more seamless you have to be in switching between the two.
Yeah, a problem I had with this was with the turret. Was when you're trying to grab the turret sometimes, if you were on a harder difficulty and you were trying to cloak and grab the turret, sometimes you'd end up getting in the car and driving off, and then your entire plan of stealth just goes completely down the tubes, and so that threw me off a little bit. But also, when you did have the turret, it was also the most satisfying part of the game. Would you not agree?
I would agree. Putting on armor lock and walking around. I'm not having a very good time here. Putting on armor lock and walking around and just blasting your enemies away was quite a lot of fun.
That was true super soldier fashion, being able to just riff with the turret and just destroy things.
The game will occasionally take control of your character just to point out all the work that Crytek has gone through and to point out just how amazing this game looks. In this cutscene, you happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time as a Seth ship comes blasting through a sky bridge.
Best part about these graphics, definitely the particle effects and the lighting. The way the glass will fall down, the stone coming from the buildings, the steel, the fire, the smoke. It really gives you the sense that you are really engrossed in this environment and that you are, just one soldier taking on a massive private security force and a massive alien invasion.
A couple things about the game that we did find a little wonky. Like Hubert said earlier, the pulling off a gun from a truck and occasionally getting in the truck instead. That and the melee. Melee was fast.
It's like a modified chicken wing. Like a spastic chicken, just like just flinging your elbow as fast as you can. It's like ridiculous.
That combined with the stealth kills, you have to come up behind somebody and stealth kill them, or hold them and pick them up. Occasionally, you would go to stealth kill them, and you would just hit them instead. And it was.
Didn't that actually happen one time where you're trying to stealth kill two of the enemies? You ended up just mashing the melee button on the one and smacking the crap out of him, accidentally switching and stealth killing the other while he was looking at you, and then resuming your rain of elbows on the last guy.
I think that about sums it up, yeah. Okay, on to multiplayer. The multiplayer, I think the best way to describe it would be a really nice combination of Call of Duty and Halo.
But still not really creating its own original elements, so it still really feels exactly like that, a mixture of Call of Duty and Halo, and being really distinctly either Call of Duty or Halo.
They did a decent job of making the fairness of they did a really decent job of making it fair. In the campaign, you are a super soldier. In the multiplayer, you're still a super soldier, but you're a little bit toned down. As you can see, you're not quite as invisible when cloaked, and the armor lock isn't quite as strong. You can take a lot of abuse when you're in armor lock, but not nowhere near as much as when you were in the campaign.
Again, it does stress seamless switching between both armor lock and cloak, just like the campaign.
As for the ranking system, it's interesting. It's a lot like Call of Duty in that you rank up and you unlock things. However, you do unlock your armor and cloak abilities, which means that unlike Call of Duty, where, yes, you unlock abilities and you're able to use them during the fight, your armor and your cloaking actually gets better as you continue to rank up, which means that if you go up against somebody who's a lot higher than you, then you're going to have a hard time taking them down.
It's a really unbalanced environment for new players coming in, just bought the game 2 months later and happen to come against guys who are high ranking, can't really do anything. At least with Call of Duty and Halo, you can come in, a noob, and still be able to use classes that, other people can use with, I guess, the default classes and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that may be a reason why they have in the multiplayer menu a single lobby for people level 10 and below.
Yeah, exactly.
But not to discourage you, because it's still a fun game and it's easy to rank up. Now, on to the actual final ranking. Hubert, what would you do for this game?
I'd do a buy. Definitely play it, definitely buy it, but it won't stay in your collection the entire time. You might sell this for, a better game that comes out later. Who knows? But it's still definitely worth playing.
I think it for what it is, it's a fantastic game. By far, buy it if you have an HD setup and you want to look at amazing graphics on your console system. It had a lot of potential, and it met a lot of that potential, but it also let a lot of it fall.
It wasn't a genre-busting sort of FPS. It wasn't lackluster either, but it didn't really do anything that we hadn't seen before.
Other than the graphics.
Other than the graphics, which
Right.
were some of the gameplay was. I mean, it did give you free reign to choose how you went about doing stuff, rather than having you were able to go in guns blazing or be cloaked, which was really good.
Yeah, but I couldn't help feel a little disappointed during the gameplay. I was hoping this was going to be, like you said, a genre busting game. But I think it lands on a 3 for our what to do scale. I think everybody should buy it.
3 out of 4.
Yeah, 3 out of
if you
4.
want numbers, we're giving you numbers.
I think you should buy it, play the crap out of it, but when you get tired of it, I think you should let it go. Well, that'll do it for the KalamariCast. Thanks so much for watching, and maybe we'll see you on Crysis 2. We'll see you next time.